#1 seed Virginia Cavaliers. The game tonight will be a game of firsts for both basketball programs, and it'll be the first championship game in program history for both squads. But the road to the big game was not the same for either team. After losing to the 16th seed UMBC last year, Virginia is on the road to destiny. The game on a 9-0 run behind Matt Mooney and Jarrett Culver. So, Armand, what can we expect from these two teams tonight?
Well, like you said, it's a very defensive game tonight. I think these teams will go down to the brink to the final seconds, and I predict that the game will be won by less than 5 points.
So you're thinking it's more of a possession-by-possession, hard-fought, defensive grit kind of game?
Right, because what Virginia likes to do, they like to control the pace. They like to do half-court sets, and they like to grind. They like to grind down low, and keep the defense on its toes. But the thing about Texas Tech is that they have to control the pace. They have to try to run Virginia at a gym basically, and just play your game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've seen time and time again this season, Virginia plays so well down the stretch of these games. They really control the tempo. And obviously Texas Tech is capable of doing the same thing. They've kind of done the same thing. So, what do you think, based off of what you've seen in the Final Four games, Texas Tech versus Michigan State and Virginia versus Auburn, what do you think is going to be kind of the key for Texas Tech right now to avoid that pressure by Virginia?
I would like to say, just keep them off the three-point line. If you keep them off the three-point line, and you get into your offense, you run your sets. I think they'll be able to beat Virginia Tech at its own game. Obviously, defense is going to be key for both teams. But I just Virginia's pack line defense. It's just that defense. I've never seen that type of defense before. And Tony Bennett, he prides himself on defense first before he goes on offense. And they're surrounded by outside shooters that shoot consistently. I think they shoot almost 40% from the three-point line. So Texas Tech has to chase them off that.
So do you think it's more important for Texas Tech, because obviously they're going to make their points. Either Kyle Guy or Jerome is going to make their points. So which one do you think they should, if they can obviously hold one of them, who should they go for?
Well, I think Kyle Guy, he's obviously the one he should hold. But I'm more worried about DeAndre Hunter because he has a chance to go to an NBA draft. He's a very hot future first-round pick. Very good on the offensive end. Outside he's fantastic. Inside he's very good too. So I say Texas Tech has to worry about containing DeAndre Hunter.
So you bring up Texas Tech containment. So that's one of the X factors, I would say, for this game.
Right.
What do you got for other X factors in this game for both teams?
I think Jarrett Culver, he needs to come out and produce. I think last game when he played against Michigan State, he didn't play as well as he should have, and he's averaging like 19 points a game in this tournament. And so I think he needs to just play his game. And obviously, if he doesn't play his game, you have Matt Mooney. If he could control the game as he wants to. He scored like 22 points off of I think he's had like 4 3-pointers against Michigan State. So I think that those two, they're very important for this game.
And you saw, you mentioned it, Culver didn't have his best game, but you saw at the end of the game when Michigan State was on that run, making it close towards the last 4 or 5 minutes left of the game, he kind of took over. He scored 5 straight for Texas Tech when Michigan State cut the lead, and it just shows how important he is. Is there any way that Virginia can contain him for a full 40 minutes?
I would like to see that because it's just that pack line defense. It's just the way they shift, from side to side. I think that Texas Tech, in order to be successful on offense, they had to shift Virginia from side to side. They have to keep the ball moving, look for weak spots, in the defense, open spaces that way. That if they can, obviously they're not a great 3-point shooter as Virginia is. So I think that if we have a 3-point shooter open, take the shot. Every position counts, especially in this game.
So what would you say Virginia's X factor is?
The X factor I would say is defense. Obviously defense. Just hold them. Hold Texas Tech. Just slow the pace down. And then have your own offense.
Cool. Who you got winning?
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. All right. Cool. Well, that's all the time we have to talk NCAA men's basketball. But when we come back, we discuss the NBA. You won't want to miss it.
Wait, that went by quick.
Has your favorite team ever left you feeling sad, disappointed, or even a little angry? Don't you feel like you should be compensated for it? Just take a look at these real testimonials from my real clients. After Tyrod Taylor led the Bills to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years, I was the happiest I'd ever been. And then the Bills traded him, and I wanted to die. But thanks to Dave, I found my will to live again. Yo, Kevin Durant's a bitch. When he said his mom was the MVP, I was so pissed. He put up 30 a game, not her. Same time, I knew my boy Davey would be able to get me some quick cash. Thanks, Dave Jeffrey. I've helped millions of people, and chances are I might be able to help you too.
I hate David Jeffries. My whole family died in a car crash, but he gave all my money away to a Saints fan because of some blown pass interference call. Thanks, Dav.
Aren't you mad when KD went to the Warriors?
Nah, that's pretty chill. Give me a call at 888-888-888, crying emoji, and I can fix your sports misery too.
Please call the number on your screen today if you are experiencing any grief, sadness, or even if another fan has hurt your feelings. All you have to do is provide your credit card number, the 3 silly digits on the back, and the expiration month and year. This is not a scam. Doop-de-doop.
Yo, guys, I can't even imagine what it's like to be a Saints fan right now.
Dude,
I'd be so
guys.
I can't believe that ridiculous no call.
Bro, I'm puzzled. If they would have made that call, who do you think would have been in the Super Bowl? The Saints would have been in the Super Bowl. Come on now.
The refs, they need to be punished for something.
Oh, hey guys. Did you see my missed call last week? Could have sent that team to the championship. I guess not.
I can't take this anymore.
What's up with this guy?
Welcome back to Hitting the Field. I'm now joined by Ross Bernstein and Troy Alford. How's it going, fellas?
Hey, man, I'm glad to be here, man.
Man, every day's a good day. Good to see you, Troy. Good to see you, Kyle.
Yeah,
This
good to
night,
be with
I'm
you
not
guys.
happy to see you.
All right.
ready.
Getting started
All
early.
right.
Let's go. All right. Well, guys, there comes a time in an NBA player's life where they have to call it quits and they hang up the jersey. And unfortunately, Dwayne Wade's retiring after 16 great seasons. His last home game is against the Sixers tomorrow. So, guys, what's your favorite D-Wade moment? And tell me a little bit about his legacy. Troy, I'll start with you.
I'm going to go with the Chicago buzzer beater because I watched that game live, like, with my family. We were home, and it was a tough game, double overtime, and one of the greatest shots in Miami Heat history. And I believe Dwayne Wade is a top 5 shooting guard of all time, and that's a lot of shooting guards who's been through the league. So I believe he's top 5. He's better than Paul Pierce. He's
Easily.
a champion,
Easily.
All-NBA player. He's one of the greatest.
Yeah? How about you, Ross?
Well, it's a little new, but definitely when he came back last season, when he finally returned to Miami, you really don't appreciate Dwayne Wade until he was gone. Because as a Heat fan, I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I never even thought he was going to leave. When he left, I was beyond surprised. Because I was like, oh, we'll pay him something. We'll make sure he comes. But I was beyond surprised. So when he came back, when I got the news that day in class, I was ready to cry. I saw the game.
I was just a Chicago fan that season because I was so into, like,
I was disappointed that Pat Riley let
I
him
was
go.
disappointed too. I think he deserved at least a good $20 million. Something to help out.
Anything he wants,
Exactly.
Dwayne Wade, we will miss you.
Because he took so much, so many cuts for that big 3.
You had to,
come together.
To let it go. But
And he's just meant so much to this team. Can you just kind of tell me, like, what he means, even though it's kind of a playoff push is necessary real quick, what he's kind of meant to the Heat this season and just in general?
Just to being a leader, inspirational to the young guys. We have a lot of young guys on the Miami Heat. And D-Wade's presence has just, like, uplifted them and made them a scrappy team. I think without D-Wade, they're like 11 seed, 12 seed, Yeah. But with D-Wade there, something to play for.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, definitely feel the same way. And unlike Paul Pierce, he wanted to go out in style. Paul Pierce rode the benches last season.
Yeah.
He wanted to go out. It's very obvious to everyone that Dwayne Wade could play at least 2 more seasons, maybe 3.
I'll give him one more season.
One more great season.
Because he'll be like 38,
So he can stretch it.
Yeah.
But leadership definitely, and definitely mentoring the young boys, man. Josh Richardson, Just Winslow, and definitely Bam. And
of course,
it's always great to have someone in the team. And Udonis Haslam, we still love you.
Udonis Haslam,
we don't forget about you.
Miami Heat legend.
You won't leave because we won't stop paying you. But
so how do you fill that hole once he leaves? How do the Heat go about that?
I think it's going to take a little bit of rebuilding, through the draft. Maybe, we may luck up and get a free agent to come. I don't see that in the near future, realistically, but, we just got to continue to build. And I believe in Pat Riley and Mick Harrison to do that.
Yeah.
It's a hole that's impossible to fill. It will take years and years.
For
but
sure.
if we do it the right way, I think in 4 or 5 years we could have a great team. But you know Pat Riley. Pat Riley's a big fish, man. Yeah. He's going for the big guys. We're gonna get. He's gonna go for someone.
Do we even have the cash to do that? You know, that's the question. Bro.
That's why Pat Riley's Pat Riley. It takes no money, no assets, and makes it into a team. So hopefully we can have a different talk next year.
Well, there's always that group of all-star talent that impacts their teams as they try and make a postseason run, and it's usually due to these players that they can make these deep runs in the postseason. Now each season you get a handful of these players that kind of improve and their stock dramatically, and they kind of lead those teams to that run. So like that being said, Ross, who do you think is the most improved player this season?
It's got to be D'Angelo Russell. It just has to be. D'Angelo Russell led a team that basically no one thought was even going to make the playoffs, let alone look good. If you ask people playoff scenarios, you would have had the Wizards and a team like that. No one had Brooklyn. And he really came out, and I'm not going to lie to you, I was a big D'Angelo Russell hater after what happened in LA. I didn't like the way he left. But I want to say Magic Johnson's words of, "You're not a leader," that'll really get you inspired. And I think he's led this team. That team, if you watch this bench, looks different than most teams in the NBA. They're having a good time. I think D'Angelo Russell's having a great season. Hopefully he'll be an all-star a couple more seasons. And I think he's great, man. I love D'Angelo Russell.
Troy, who you got?
Really, the snitch, D'Angelo Russell.
No, that's actually 21 points. But
that's a great take. I sort of kind of agree with you. I can see why you would say D'Angelo Russell. You got guys like De'Aaron Fox, you got Buddy Hield, Donovan Mitchell. These guys have stepped up. But I'm going to go with Pascal Siakam. He went from last year averaging 7 points and about 3 rebounds to this year starting almost every game he's played in, averaging 16 and 7. Pascal has been amazing this season. There's been a stretch of games where he scored over 30 points, like multiple games. He's a big defensive threat, and he's a complementary piece to Kyle Lowry and Kawhi Leonard. He's an important piece to the Raptors, and that's my pick for best. Also, he's been averaging 19 points since the All-Star break. So that's very impressive for a guy who's playing next to Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry.
You okay with that take?
I like the take. It's not a bad take at all. I think Pascal is a close second. Only reason I'm not going to give him first is because D'Angelo is the leader of the team and really improved, especially because he had doubters. I love Pascal. He was a very close second. It was very hard for me to decide. And he's doing great. And I think maybe in the next 2 seasons he could be honestly an all-star. But
for sure,
I'm super impressed with him, and I think he will help Toronto a lot. People I feel like still don't give him the love. De'Aaron Fox, though, is...
I think De'Aaron Fox
deserves
some kind of
I agree. He's kind of flown under the radar.
The Kings themselves, Buddy Hield and them, Kings are another team that, believe me, the East and West should just be merged at this point.
If they make the playoffs, if the Kings would have made the playoffs, I think De'Aaron Fox would have, or Buddy Hield would have been most improved.
They would have been.
When's the last time the Kings been in the playoffs? Like,
it's been a while, but they've really flown under the radar, and they've been solid all season long, and they've flown under the radar. It's I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the franchise they play for, but they've just flown under the radar.
Yeah, they got a lot of young talent, man, and I really respect the Kings, what the Kings are doing, because it seems like their ownership doesn't know what they're doing. So it seemed like the players just kind of came together and said, look, forget all that. We're going to do what we're going to do. We're going to do well. So respect to the Kings also. Respect to the Kings.
Well, from one end of the spectrum to the other, are LeBron and the Lakers the biggest disappointment of the NBA this season? And if not, tell me who you think it is. Troy?
No. They are not the biggest disappointment of the season. LeBron James missed 17 games. We got to cut them some slack, man. The top 3 player on his team missing 17 games. His team started losing, Yeah. Now, if LeBron was healthy throughout the season and they are where they are now with him being healthy, then yes. My pick for like the biggest disappointment, I'm gonna go with Boston Celtics, because we've been hearing all this hype about Boston being a great team, being the best team in the East, challenging the Warriors. They've been healthy. So what's the excuse? Poor play.
Yeah.
They haven't been the best team. And that's who I feel is the biggest disappointment.
So even if you say Boston's a disappointment, do you think they're capable of making that run? It seems
in the playoffs?
Yeah.
No, because they had a rough conclusion to the season. I don't see them catching momentum and just dominating the East in the playoffs. I don't see it. I don't see it happening.
Ross, how about you?
Well, I agree with him that Boston is a disappointment, but it has to be the LA Lakers as the biggest disappointment.
No, it's not, man.
A team.
LeBron missed 17 games, bro.
Like, okay. Let me finish. Okay, so basically, this is why the biggest disappointment. I don't care that LeBron missed 17 games. When you sit at the end of the bench and aren't even a team player, you don't even want to be there. I believe wholeheartedly LeBron does not care about that team.
What does that have to do with them being a disappointment?
He's not okay. So when he was out, did he look like he wanted to help the team? Did he look like he was trying to help on the coach on the sidelines?
It's about playing basketball, Ross, not.
Okay, so
what did he look like on the bench?
Let's say They won 64 and 17. He missed 17 games, right? He didn't miss 60. He didn't miss 81. He didn't miss 82. He even missed 30. He missed 17 games.
Ross,
that team crumbled.
he missed 17 games in the most pivotal point of the season, right between Christmas and the All-Star break.
Okay, so what they do after?
That is very pivotal.
So what they do after? What they do after
they started losing because they lost momentum. Also, Lonzo Ball was also hurt.
Okay.
Another big
We're
piece.
talking about Lonzo Ball. We got LeBron James.
Yeah, we're talking about
on the
Lonzo
team.
Ball.
We have Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram. We have all those players. Rajon
Kyle
Rondo
Kuzma also got hurt with an ankle injury. And then they lost Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram was out super long, but you are LeBron James. You need to lead a team to the playoffs. Okay, did I expect the LA Lakers to be a great team? No. But to not make the playoffs, you are LeBron James. You've been to 8 straight finals.
They lost
That's the biggest
LeBron James for 17 games, man.
So
that
Troy,
is huge.
So how many games did they have after?
That's a huge
Another 30?
blow.
They didn't do anything after 30.
Also,
Troy,
LeBron wasn't even 100% healthy.
But he's played.
Come on, it's a report. The doctor said that he was not healthy.
If you're playing, you're playing.
LeBron
so don't play. So don't play. If you're going to play, you need to play to 100%.
All right, Ross, next question, man. Let's go, man. I'm not going to do this with you.
Whatever you want. Lake Show.
The Brooklyn Nets and the Orlando Magic have clinched their spots in the NBA playoffs over the weekend. Well, with a couple of games left, the 6th, 7th, and 8th seeds are pretty much up for grabs. The Miami Heat, Charlotte Hornets, and Detroit Pistons are fighting for the 8th seed, even though they're all under 500. Guys, which team's going to clinch that final spot in the Eastern Conference playoffs? And who's more deserving of it? Ross, all you.
I'm just going to go with Detroit Pistons locking up the 8th seed only because they're already a game ahead, and look who they're playing. They're playing the Memphis Grizzlies. DeLon Wright, you are balling, but it's about it. And then they play the New York Knicks, which I don't know how much Dennis Smith Jr. and DeAndre Jordan can really pull through, but it seems like they're going to win those 2 games easily. I don't think they'll do anything in the playoffs. Granted, I don't think any of the 8 seeds that were able to do anything in the playoffs, but in my dreams, when I go to sleep at night, I picture Dwayne Wade hitting a game winner, at least in one game in the playoffs. So I'm praying that Dwayne Wade and the Heat can pull it through, but I think they need to win both games. Detroit needs to lose both, and Charlotte needs to lose one. You basically got no chance. So I have Detroit winning that AC just by default, but
it's not going to happen, Ross, man. It's not going to happen.
I know.
I've accepted it. You should too. It's not going to happen, man.
So I'm guessing who you got?
I agree with Ross. I think Detroit locks it up because they have the easiest path. Obviously, Miami has a tough path. You need Detroit to lose 2 games. You need Charlotte to lose 1.
And we got to beat Philly and Brooklyn.
And then you got to beat Philly and Brooklyn. It's going to be tough. I can see them winning the Philly game, off of the emotion of D-Wade's last game. I see D-Wade dropping like 80 points and something like that.
Something like that.
But I don't think the Heat make that 8th spot.
So y'all are both saying it's kind of the path of least resistance. Is the no love for Charlotte?
It's already set, man.
Hey, man, good luck to Charlotte. I think they're having a nice little run at the end. Kemba deserves something, but Detroit just has too easy of a path.
I think Kemba's going to enjoy this because Kemba's going to be in like a Knicks jersey next year. So
this is
his last.
Michael Jordan's going to hold on. He'll bribe him a little.
Yeah.
So you guys have both kind of accepted the Heat are not going to make the playoffs, but might I add real quick that the Magic are in the playoffs. So let's talk about another Florida team. What do you guys think of the Magic's chances? What do you think? What do you think of the Magic's chances in the first round?
They're going to get swept,
chances?
man.
Swept, yeah.
Who are they playing? They're playing Philadelphia.
As right now, it would be what, Toronto?
It'll be Philadelphia. And they're going to
okay.
get swept. Ben Simmons is going to hit threes. It's going to be crazy. I don't expect the Magic to do anything great.
Look, here's the thing. The Magic, great Cinderella story. The Miami Heat had to give them 1 season to look good. And
exactly.
I honestly think if the Orlando Magic really work hard, do their best, they could lose 1 game by only 10 points.
Yeah, when you let your little
brother.
That's
how I'm feeling.
When you let your little brother just get like a little shine.
You know how like you have the Nerf dunk thing, and like you're just like, yo, you can let him dunk, throw the alley. Yeah, that'll be that. Terrence Ross though, always appreciated hitting the field. I think he'll drop 30 points.
Terrence who?
Terrence Ross. Me, yeah.
So you're saying?
I thought he played for the Raptors.
Oh, you thought he played for the Raptors.
So you're saying Terrence Ross is going to go off?
Well, of course. Come on.
Yeah?
Terrence Ross not going off. Crazy. You know what you're talking about? But yeah, no, Orlando, in all seriousness, they are good. They're an okay team. They might be able to pull out 1 win against Philly.
Yeah.
Philly, I think, will turn it on fully and have a great run.
Yeah. In all
but
seriousness,
they just have too much size, man. I don't think Vooch could bang with Embiid like that. So
yeah, all seriousness, the Magic are a good team. I respect the Magic.
I respect
all seriousness.
All right, guys. Well, the playoffs for the past few seasons have pretty much been dominated, at least skill-wise, by the Western Conference. And it's really felt as if the West was just miles ahead of the East. But now, without LeBron in the East, it seems as though the top teams in the Eastern Conference can actually hold their own against the West in a best-of-7 series. Troy, do you think that there are any teams in the East that can go toe-to-toe with the best in the West?
I believe a healthy Milwaukee Bucks team can go toe-to-toe with like a Rockets or the Warriors. I believe the Raptors can give some problems, you know, to the Warriors, but it's kind of maybe even Boston. Even though I don't see it happening, but maybe they get their stuff together and they get to the final somehow. I think they can give the Warriors some problems. So I can see something between those top 3 teams giving Western teams some problems. Yeah, for sure.
So what do you think? Like a 6-game series-ish?
Hopefully. That'd be nice, you know?
Yeah, some entertainment.
Yeah.
Ross, how about you?
I think there'd be some competition between Nuggets and Rockets with some of the better teams. I love Milwaukee. I think if Brogdon comes back healthy, Middleton plays well. And
Mirotic and Brogdon.
Oh, Mirotic is a really big X factor because I think he should be able to average 15 points a game, honestly, if he plays well off the bench. But I still don't see the Warriors really. They'll have a challenge more than any other season. This is the season they've looked finally like humans.
Who do you think is like the biggest challenge from the East to the Warriors, though?
Honestly, in all seriousness, I have to go Philly just because of the matchup.
Philly?
I really like Philly. Ben Simmons could really give Steph Curry problems at the 1, and Joel Embiid.
What? How?
What do you mean? The reach, the little height, just for shooting.
You talking about
purposes.
Defensively?
Oh, defensively. Oh no, not
but
offensively.
when Steph lights him up with like 30, like that's not gonna matter.
Well, he can light anyone up with 30. I'm saying the best chance. No one can stop Steph Curry. I feel like that's just common knowledge.
Yeah.
But I think Philly has the best chance matchup-wise because I feel like they could attack Giannis in a better way. Because I think Milwaukee, they'll just clog the paint and they'll just hope they'll let Middleton and Brogdon win the game, which could happen. I think Philly has the best matchup. Not saying I don't even think they're gonna win the East. I still think Milwaukee win the East. But
I think Milwaukee wins the East.
Like I said,
maybe Toronto.
Like I've been saying for years, if Steph Curry gets that little ankle, you've seen those ankle braces. They're about this thick. That ankle twist, and they're missing him. He is the heart of that team. I don't care. People say Draymond's the heart. You ever seen that team without Steph?
It's definitely Steph.
Oh, it's definitely
Steph's definitely a changer. Like Steph is the difference between a 30-point win and a 2-point win.
Yeah.
You got KD with no Steph, you get like maybe a 4-point win.
But this is the first season I could envision the Warriors
losing.
Being like, we might, losing. Well, not losing, challenged. It did not seem to
You don't think they were challenged
the Rockets can beat them?
You don't think they were challenged last season in the Western Finals?
Once Chris Paul was out, you knew it was over.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think the Rockets may, challenge them. And I was talking to Jeremy.
They can be challenged. I don't know if they'll lose, but they won't breeze through at all. They'll really be tested.
Yeah, I believe so, man.
Yeah.
And also, if they get the Spurs in the first round,
that's a tough.
That's gonna be. I say that's a
7
7-game series right there.
I want the OKC.
That's a hot take. But I think it's
Spurs,
possible.
I have to agree with Ross.
Popovich will coach hard, but
he will.
OKC Warriors will be the matchup you want to see.
OKC and the Warriors? That's a sweep, man. 5 games at least.
You think?
Yes.
Sweep. I think it'll go. I think
5 or 6.
I think 6. Not a sweep.
Not 6, man. That's a sweep, man. Have you watched the Thunder this season?
Oh, second half they're not looking good. I'm just saying the pure adrenaline of I'm playing KD, I'm playing them. That'll get them through. And Russ is a dog.
Let me tell you something
Russ is a
about
dog.
I know y'all can keep going about this all day.
Y'all
Y'all both make some really valid points as usual. Unfortunately, though, that's all the time we've got for the NBA today.
Hey, man.
But don't go anywhere, though, guys, because when we come back, I'll have my night vision.
This year, Hidden Field bringing back the most anticipated episode of the year, the HTF Draft Show, with the all-new format. And what may be that new format, you might ask?
This year, we're doing something totally different. We are featuring a new sidewall for play breakdown and other analysis.
We'll also have live computer graphics with a ticker that shows the picks right when they happen. We'll also have brand new pre-recorded segments. It's an experience you won't want to miss.
That's right, man. And last but certainly not least, we'll have 6 camera angles because we care about the viewer experience. Might I add that we'll have 16 panelists giving their analysis during the draft.
We will be live on April 25th at 8 p.m. and it will be hosted by yours truly. We hope y'all tune in.
See you there.
Yo, guys, I can't even imagine what it's like to be a Saints fan right now.
Dude,
I'd be so
guys,
mad.
I can't believe that ridiculous no call.
Bro, I'm puzzled. If they would have made that call, who do you think would have been the Super Bowl? The Saints would have been the Super Bowl. Come on now.
The refs, they need to be punished.
Oh, hey guys. Did you see my missed call last week? Could have sent that team to the championship. I guess not.
I can't take this anymore.
What's up with this guy?
Well, guys, it was a sad moment for Orlando sports last week. As I'm sure you're aware by now, the Alliance of American Football suspended all football operations last week, effectively ending the league just 8 games into the inaugural season. This was a tough realization for the players, coaches, and fans of the league, and it was especially difficult for our own Orlando Apollos. That team had a special bond going for them, having to live in Jacksonville, practice in Georgia, and play in Orlando. The players noted that because of this difficulty, they felt very close as a team. So it hurts to see the league end their AAF careers so early, after being promised at least 3 seasons. And honestly, shame on the league's owners for promising the players and staff things that they couldn't pull off. So it's no surprise at all that the AAF was going through struggles at first. And it was an alarming moment that after just 3 weeks of play, they needed a financial rescue. And it turns out that those problems never left. Now players are left to scramble to figure out what to do next. They have to pick up the pieces of their careers and find out how to continue to pursue their dreams of playing in the NFL. But what might hurt the most for our own Apollos is that they were so good, championship good. They finished with the best record in the league, and it wasn't even that close. So it really brings us a heavy heart to see the league collapse like this. However, there are always some positives to take away from things, and this is no exception. Steve Spurrier has always had some great things to say, and even a situation like this can bring something good out of the head ball coach. Spurrier brought up the team's record, and that they should be crowned as the official unofficial champs of the AAF. And then there's Garrett Gilbert. Gilbert had a fantastic season with the Apollos, and got signed to the Cleveland Browns because of that success. So again, not all is lost. But I want to express that this team was so much fun to watch, and it was so exciting to have a good pro football team in Orlando. I'm all for the players and the staff of this Apollos team. But at the same time, I'm glad to have been a part of this, and I'll never forget to take aim. So thanks for watching today's episode of HTF. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube page to watch HTF all day and all night. It's an exciting time here at HTF because we have 2 very special episodes to wrap up a great season. Next week, we'll have a senior send-off, so be sure to tune in to celebrate these great seniors here at HTF. And then following that is our annual draft show, so be sure to tune in on April 25th at 8 p.m. We're back the same time next week, Monday at 12. From inside the Nicholson studio at UCF, I'm Kyle Partain, and have a great rest of your day.
He could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.